18 April 2023, Tuesday, MAO recap. Now, guys, apology for yesterday MAO. There was some technical issue and I couldn't get it up. So that's why I have to skip yesterday's MAO. Hope that you don't blame me for that. Now, is the US dollars really going to crash soon? Now, basically, this question has been asked repeatedly by many of my students, friends around me, even bankers are asking me the same question. And I can tell you this, guys, if you can look at US history, US dollar will come off, but it will never crash. Really, guys, you have to understand how US government really works. I know that there are a lot of people saying that it will crash. There's many reasons for that. Petrodollar due to the BRIC, but guys, put it away. US, as long as a domineering military country in a way, all right, I can tell you this, there's no way anyone can supersede it. Just watch it for that. All right, let's go to the sharing. I'll tell you more in detail shortly. And thank you, Ames, for the kind sponsorship. Do our risk assessment, yeah? Okay, first of all, guys, we had a 4-person joining me for lunch on Wednesday. That is, I believe, is Alvin, Yoei, Stanley, and T. Wong. All right, thank you once again. You have been contacted. All right, we sent you a message and we left a phone number. Please contact us ASAP. All right, we'll see you tomorrow, right, for the Omakase Launch. Now, for those who missed the chance, don't worry, we're going to have another one on the 3rd of May, Wednesday. I'm inviting 4 people to join me for a pretty nice session here itself. All right, I'm going to show you this. This guy is a food creator, Big John. All right, he's also a good friend of mine. So I have been watching his video, pretty good, pretty decent, and he's very open with his sharing. And even though that he's a food content creator, end of the day, he still speaks his mind. That's why I like him. All right, let me bring you the video that I want to show to you. Suddenly just lost it. Yeah, okay, here we go.
Oh, have you seen such a big tomahawk steak? This halal restaurant serves Australian tomahawk that is grilled and flame torched. And it comes with fries, onion rings, and salad. The ratio of the meat and fat is just right. It tastes juicy, rich, buttery. Confirm one of the best I've tried. Order some mocktails and rest for a while. Then it's time for yakiniku. Look at the beautiful marbling on the A5 Wagyu beef platter. The meat is just like butter that melts in your mouth. Order tenderloin again as it's my favorite and some scallops. Trust me, if you love beef, you've got to come here. This is a 4.6 out of 5 show.
All right, so we are going for this on the 3rd of May, Wednesday. Is a lunch. All right, so it's a halal restaurant, but I went there before. The food is excellent, so I'm going there one more time. All right, so for a friend of mine, Ajin Shafiq, if you're hearing this right now, I believe the Puasa is going to be over very soon, so you should be able to join us. All right, so one slot is prepared for you, so I'm free to go. Okay, all right. Okay, so the thing is this, where is this place? This place is at this 324 Changi Road. Okay, all right, it's along towards the Geylang Serai, the area. All right, so parking a bit difficult, so best just take a Grab or take a public transport. Yeah, I'll see you guys this. So I'm going to invite 4. So from today onwards until the next Friday, you can start to post your comment on my video, and you will be standing a chance to win a chance to go for this lunch of this Tomahawk King and Omakase. All right, okay. So let's recap what happened last night first. Okay, so first night, wow, what a recovery from the US market. Now, before I slept, I saw the US was down by 100 points. But then overnight, wow, look at it. The Dow recovered 100 points, the Nasdaq up by 8.2 points, and the S&P up by 13 points. So across the board, we can see Google is down because there is some concern right now with one of their deals. And if the deals doesn't do well, they may lose quite a bit of money. Right, Amazon, Microsoft, Apple didn't have much movement. Interestingly, the bank itself, right, has some movement over here. You can see JP Morgan up by 0.79%. I think Bank of America has higher a little bit. Wells Fargo up by 4% and so forth. So while the banks are recovering a bit, well, that is possible. So let's see what actually happened. Well, basically, right, we have a bit of data coming in from the banks, and most of the banks have somehow supersede the so-called expectation. You can see that State Street, Charles Schwab's all climb on profit beats. And of course, State Street was down a bit because of disappointing result. But the thing is this, we all been actually know that Charles Schwab was one of the concerned banks. So for them to recover at this point itself is expressing a bit of concern, because to me, it could be a pump and dump, or you know. All right, then we also have this Google, as I mentioned to you, right? It's basically down because now the New York Times reported that Samsung is considering switching its default search engine to Bing. Oh my goodness. So imagine that happened itself, right? That may actually cause a bit of stir for Google. So all these things tell us that we need to be careful because now there are more and more people are saying that we could be in a recession, well, which I told you a long time ago. So let's see what happened next. But the main driver was this. The House Speaker, Kevin McCarthy, right, told me that we're going to have 218 to raise the debt ceiling. I think we got. That means that they have enough people to raise the debt ceiling. And that moment when it was mentioned, wow, look at S&P 500 from 4122 all the way to 4151. So this is really incredible, right? Just look at it. If you really need to just somehow manipulate the market, you just have to press the price down low enough, collect a lot at the bottom, and then release some news if you can, and then bang, wow, look at it. So I don't know whether it is truthful, but we all know that usually for the debt ceiling, we're going to see them increasing and increasing. Nothing to stop that, guys. Nothing. Okay. So no wonder why the market is so bullish, because the equity market now, the total call option is at the roof level. Oh my goodness. Since 1999 until to date right now, the call option volume surged again to the all-time high this quarter. In fact, last quarter, yeah. This level of interest in derivative is highly associated with the current retail trading frenzy. So basically, it's all right. This is really incredible. So if so many people are going to buy, buying call options itself, they really need the price to go higher. But of course, if the price doesn't do that, then these people will be fried, right? So we just need to be careful. But nonetheless, that's the reason why the market is so bullish. But at the same time, the S&P 500 breadth is at the lowest level since 2005. Now look at it. The market breadth right now is really low, and this comes from Morgan Stanley, obviously. So the thing is, if that is the case itself, right, the earnings now, the consensus are actually coming off. In fact, it's 12% off its peak for last year. So now we are having a bit of interesting point where people trying to buy, and yet the S&P breadth is actually going down, in fact, at the lowest point. So who should we trust? To me itself, it's just like something really, really going to explode soon. And of course, we just don't want to be at the wrong side this time. So the thing is, let's go back again on the banks. Now, the number of banks failure has peaked in 1980s, but 2023 is a standout year for the big collapse. Simply put, right, in 2023, we have just two bank failures, it's SVB and Signature Bank. But the total asset itself is $319 billion. Wow. The thing is that if we compared, over 500 banks collapsed during 2007 to 2014. And the inflation adjusted figure was $960 billion in asset. In 1980 to 1995, more than 2,900 banks failed with a 2.2 trillion in assets. So if you put it all together itself, right, during this crisis, the involved amount itself is so much bigger. So you think about this, guys. If you really look at it, is this because that we have already found a way to stop the bank crisis, or is it going to be more bank failure, or is it that we're going to defy the history? Yeah? So to me, it's very clear that we are not out of the woods yet. I am strongly believing that there will be another or two more banks will fail pretty soon. But of course, until the tide goes, then we will know who's swimming naked. Yeah. All right. The thing is that why? Because I believe that the Federal Reserve will continue to rate hike. Yeah, why do I say that? It's not difficult to understand this, guys. You must understand the currently now, right? The traders raises bet on the Fed rate hike, and now the swap is fully priced for the quarter point hike by June. You can see the swaps are very, very clear. That means that there will be a rate hike in this June, okay? And May, in fact, May and June, yeah, too. So the thing is this right now, right? We have an 86.7%, there'll be another rate hike. And of course, we have another interesting blip upside now is at 22.6%, actually expecting another rate hike. So that means that there'll be another 25 plus 25 coming in. And that is what something I've been saying for the longest of time that it will happen for this year. And it's now showing through the Fed fund this probability. So if the Federal Reserve continue to increase interest rate, and that is the reason why SVB and Signature Bank goes down, then naturally another 50 basis points should able to bring some more boys down, right? What do you think? And of course, if inflation continue, then what will happen next? That means that it may go even to a high of 6%. And if it does that, wow, that will be critical and going to be pretty bad, right? So because of all this itself, right, when the Federal Reserve are increasing interest rate, US dollar is supposed to go up. But because of the bond crisis right now in the market, so people are now pulling back on the US dollar. And because of that, they realize that if, let's say, there's going to be a pivoting coming soon for the Federal Reserve after the rate hike, then the US dollar will really come down. Now, this is not wrong. In fact, itself, when I do a Google search, US dollar to crash soon, I'm still not into the AI yet, yeah? Wow, look at it. It seems like everyone is expecting the US dollar to crash, okay? And you can see that, wow, look at the article. It's like really, it's like telling you going to be a US dollar Armageddon. But if you look at carefully with all the video, right? Yes, the top few videos really tells you that the market, the dollar should crash. But if you look carefully, right, this dollar crashing has been there for the longest of time. In fact, it's out in 2022, we have already people saying that. But what happened? Remember, the US dollar shot up instead. And of course, back in 2017, where everybody was saying that the dollar will crash like the 1980s, but the dollar also went up. So in my opinion, in my lifetime, I believe that the US dollar would crash. As a matter of fact, if later on, when the dollar itself has to move, right, and then what happened when the interest rate really started to come off, right, the rest of the world will also follow through. So what will happen is that there'll be demand for dollar instead. I'll talk about this later next time. But in fact, itself, in my opinion, right, I strongly believe the Federal Reserve know exactly what will happen next, and they will continue to do high interest rate periodically. And then after that, even though when they do pivot, right, the dollar won't go down. And because of that, right now, we have a lot of people saying that there could be a transitory recession. And of course, you can see that Elon Musk always will come in and get some words into there. He says that tough sliding until spring next year is my best guess. So it's very clear that he's already telling you that there should be more selling coming out until next year. So what do you think? Do you believe in him? Well, what we can see right now, right, this is the chart since 1978, and this is the US dollar index. And of course, whenever the dollar do come down, right, you can see who will be the winner. And this time now, it's obviously gold that's leading the chart right now with silver. So that's why buying gold, buying silver will be a good choice. And I also telling you guys, try to buy some US crude oil, because once the dollar do come up a little bit, these three commodities will be one of the main highlights. Okay, I've been saying this for the longest of time. Do consider that. Now, with this, right, the main thing is because Bank of America chief strategist came in and said that there'll be a 20% US dollar sell-off. Okay, they turn bullish on the gold and the euro right now. Now, euro, I cannot be sure on that. Gold, I'm pretty confident, but to say a 20% US dollar sell-off, I mean, I understand where they're coming from. By right, the dollar will come off. I understand my point is there will be some selling in the dollar, but I don't think we'll see a 20%. Because if there's going to be a 20% drop in the US dollar, oh my goodness, gold will see 2,500. Well, possible, but I don't think so. So that's the reason why I said that let's concentrate on the gold. I think it'll be a much better bet. All right. So you look at the dollar chart right now, right? Even though there's a lot of saying, but you look carefully, guys, the dollar went to about 114, 115 level against, okay, then after that it came back down to the 50% Fibonacci level. All right, it did go slightly below, but that is the, usually when that broke 50%, a lot of people say, okay, let's go for the 61.8 and stuff like that. Then we can see that the strong buying came in and it pushed it back all the way to the 38.2 or 105. Then, of course, there was whereby the Federal Reserve started to lower down their expectation on interest rate. And of course, people talk about the bond market. We have the US dollar coming off. But the thing is this, you look carefully now, this is very clear, a double bottom. And based on this itself, right, I can tell you that if the dollar don't break 100 soon, this time round, the dollar should be going back up again. So again, contrary to what people are saying right now, and I know that I'm always doing this, but you can see my point here. The chart doesn't show the fundamental, although it's saying, but there is going to be some changes in my opinion. Yeah. So I still going to stick to my gun. I believe that the dollar will go up instead. But of course, at the same time, gold will also be moving up. Yeah. No kidding. So let's see whether I'll be right. Yeah. But remember, I'm still pretty confident that interest rate will still continue to go up because crude oil, in my opinion, will hit $96 in the near term. All right. With this information, you can see right now why. Because look at sugar prices. If you feel that your copio or coffee is getting expensive, guys, you're not the end yet. In fact, it's all right. Even though on a chart wise, it shows that sugar is a little bit overbought right now. There should be some profit taking as usual. But if you look at it from the divergence point of view, you can see that this is a positive divergence because every time when the RSI is at the high, you can see that the sugar is trading higher. And when such thing happen itself, this is very, very bullish. So every pullback will be a buy instead. So I kind of believe that sugar will hit 25 cents a pound. And of course, if that happened, everything down the road, all the food stuff will also increase in prices. And of course, naturally, you will have, again, inflation coming in. Do you think the Federal Reserve will cut interest rate? Nah, I don't think so. So with this information right now, we can see that this is a very interesting chart between the commodity index versus S&P versus the VIX. So this is from a YouTuber writing this. The last time we saw this movie, the VIX was at 50, all right? It was somewhere around here on its way to 90. But today now the VIX itself right now is trading about 17 because now people believe that the global collapse is a buying opportunity. But if you don't remember that in 2008, the market collapsed after the build-up, which is true, guys. Now this is where you can see that the commodity index did come down, but the stock market also sold down very badly. Can you see that? Yeah, so that's the reason why the VIX shot up to 75 back then. So what I'm trying to say is that now with the VIX at the low end itself, and the S&P is trading at the high end, and we have the commodity prices itself really not too sure where to go. If there's going to be a pullback, then naturally, if history repeat, S&P 500 will be hit. And of course, VIX should be going up instead. And that's the reason why I've been telling people this, to buy some VIX, buy some VIX, buy some VIX. It should be a very good hedge too, all right? So with all this information, I hope you'll enjoy this session. I'll see you guys again. Let's go for the technical side. It's Cal signing off. Bye-bye.